Hi, you're back with Helping Heather, and I'm doing a video again. I don't get a lot of people watching my videos, but those who do probably are interested in these topics. And so one topic is I had done a short on carb tolerances are different from people, different for each person. And I had a comment saying, I don't know anything. I deleted it, but I should have kept it because that just shows it just shows what other people think and feel, and that's good. Maybe I can make new videos to try and help and teach that, but typically not. I'm not. Yeah. And so anyway, carb tolerances, this is what the video is about. Carbohydrate tolerance differ between individuals, and there's lots of different reasons. This is a fact. This is a fact, and it's something that I've experienced, and it can be very frustrating if you're going on a journey on keto with another person or in a group or something, and you can be frustrated that your body's not doing what it needs to do. So it depends on several systems: insulin production, insulin sensitivity, muscle mass versus body fat, organ function, hormones, activity level, and genetics, right? So insulin sensitivity, people who are insulin resistant need more insulin for the same carb amount, store more fat, feel more fatigue after carbs, have higher blood glucose after a meal. Factors decreasing insulin sensitivity: obesity, low muscle mass, sleep deprivation. If poor sleep one day, you're not going to be you're going to be hungrier and you're going to be more insulin resistant. Chronic stress shuts down your ability to get that energy in. It just happens, right? That's why cortisol belly is a big apple-shaped body. It's what happens. And you could just be not emotionally stressed. It could just be your hormones are low and you're unaware that your own body's under stress physically inside of you because you don't have x-ray vision to know, right? You could be dealing with a chronic illness that you haven't clocked yet or gotten a doctor to help you with, and it's causing you to have lower carb tolerance. Sedentary lifestyle, aging, perimenopause, menopause, type 2 diabetes. Muscle mass versus body fat. So people with more muscle have more ability to tolerate carbs. So this is where I love the women helping women in perimenopause build muscle, push back, get muscle, eat more protein, do your lifting. That helps you, and it makes you more carbohydrate sensitive. Awesome. So we can push back on that one. Less muscle, more body fat tolerates few carbs, right? Genetics, how much insulin you produce, how quickly you clear glucose, whether you naturally store fats, tidy and ordered response to carbs, ethnic metabolic differences. So Pacific Islanders traditionally eat high carb diets and metabolically handle carbs well until exposed to Western processed foods. Yeah, I mean, to me, that just makes sense. If your body's been used to eating a certain way, everything, and in your ancestry you've had passed down to you everything you need to process that food. So got microbiome diversity, metabolic flexibility, ability to switch between glucose burning and fat burning, liver fat content. Fatty liver reduces carb tolerance. So metabolic flexibility is inflexibility is trouble burning carbs and constant hunger and crashes. So your activity level, high activity, athletics, physical jobs, they burn more carbs more immediately. They tolerate more. And if you're sedentary, carbs get stored as fat quickly. You're not using them up. Timing matters too. Carbs post-workout are tolerated better than carbs eaten while sedentary at night. Sleep and stress. Poor sleep and stress increase cortisol, which raises blood sugar, makes insulin less effective, increases cravings, reduces tolerance for carbs. Just one night of poor sleep can cause insulin resistance the next day. Men and women differ. Women, hormones, more affected by estrogen and progesterone fluctuations. Perimenopause raises insulin resistance, period. Higher likelihood of metabolic shifts after pregnancy. So your body's not the same after pregnancy. You are forever changed. You are not the same person. More prone to reactive hypoglycemia. Men, higher baseline testosterone, more muscle, better glucose storage. Tend to lose fat more easily. Insulin sensitivity improves faster. Fuel preference. Women are naturally better fat burners and conserve glucose more than men. This is evolutionary for pregnancy. Because of this, many women feel better with moderate to low carb. Some struggle on very low carb during certain menstrual phases. And that's the beginning, the week before you bleed, typically. That's the time when you're supposed to be having less stress, building progesterone, tropical fruits, relaxing, giving yourself a break, chocolate, more carbohydrates during that time. And I got that from Dr. Mindy Peltz. She's awesome. She's on YouTube. Follow her. So she instructed that. She's got all kinds of books out on hormones and all of that. And I've tried some of her things. Fast Like a Girl is a book she has that I have, and fasting, and she said, well, if you're in perimenopause, you can't really fast that much. And if you're a woman, you probably shouldn't fast the week before you bleed. So that's just, seems to be a good advice. So, body composition. Yeah. So we've gone through all of that. So it is a fact that carb tolerance varies person to person. So self-advocacy, self-love, building trust, figuring out what works for you, taking the time to really look at what feels good for you, let your body signals come through, observe them. If you're too busy and you're running roughshod over your body's signals, you're not listening to your body, then it's going to be really hard for you to have any success in a weight loss journey or getting healthier in any sort of way or calming your nervous system, because you have to be able to listen to your own body. And so understanding, especially if you're trying to get into nutritional ketosis, understanding your own personal carb tolerance is going to be key. I know for myself, with where I am at now, I need to be under 20 grams of carbs a day, total carbs a day. I can't play the net carb game at all. I have to be under 20 for me. And on day 3 now, I'm noticing day 3 of under 20 set, I'm starting to produce ketones. I'm eating more sodium. That's another hint. I need to have bone broth and maybe some electrolytes on that 3rd day, because I start to feel the keto flu if I don't. So yeah, that's pretty cool, because I couldn't do that before. So I'm going to credit the Jardiance and the hormone replacement therapy that I've been on that helps me get there. So that's perfect. It's probably going to change. Your carb tolerance will change. If you can become more insulin resistant or more insulin sensitive, it's going to change. So as you maybe lose the body, the visceral fat doing keto diet, your fatty liver resolves more, you build more muscle with strength training, I might be able to up that to 30 grams, 40 grams. You never know. Like, I could be able to do that. But how I'm going to discover that will be, I had a day where I went to 30 or 40. I let myself do that because I was feeling like tired, or maybe we're celebrating something, or whatever. And maybe I really wanted that thing. And with binge eating, so trigger warning if you're sensitive to talk about binge eating, I've done that before, and like not on a really high level, but that binge eating thing, it gets triggered by being resistant, by saying, no, I'm not going to have that. And you can't do that if you're a binge eater. You really can't. You're going to then obsess over it. It's going to become all consuming, and then you're going to have it, and you're going to have too much of it. Right? It really sucks. So, what helped me quit smoking 20 years ago, instead of saying, no, I'm not going to have a cigarette, I'm done smoking, never going to have it again. I know myself. Again, you have to know yourself. This may not work for you. It doesn't work for everybody. Keto doesn't work for everybody. Low carb doesn't work for everybody. You got to get to know yourself. This is of paramount importance. If you take anything away from my channel, anything away from what I say, getting to know yourself, taking that time, understanding what works for you, and figuring that out for yourself is the best thing to do. Everybody is different. So, and I'm not a medical professional. I worked on the ambulance years ago. I'm not set up to do that. So this isn't medical advice, but yes, everybody's different, and you need to really take that in for yourself and go, I gotta see what works for me. Oh my goodness, what in the world was I saying? It's gone. I was trying to make a point and I didn't get there fast enough and my brain's gone. And I was excited about it too. I don't know how to edit videos, so to go back and look at what I was just saying and try and get back on that train of thought is not going to happen. So, yeah, so I was going with everybody's carb tolerance is different. Well, real time, folks. Perimenopause, brain fog. Sorry about that. But I will say that, looking and understanding your own body's carb tolerances and how it changes and being mindful of what your own body's telling you, what your needs are. Oh, the binge eating thing, that's what I was talking about. And quitting smoking. So instead of saying, I'm never going to have a cigarette again, and not doing that when I was quitting smoking, I said, when it was welling up, the craving was welling up inside of me for whatever reason, I was like, okay, I'll have one later. If that craving's still there later, I'll have. And then later came, and whatever had changed, whether it wasn't as urgent for me, and I just never had the cigarette. And so that's what I do with the cravings of foods that are not on my plan, and I'm also being analytical about it. I'm taking a look, because honestly, really, things that your body's asking for or you're craving, you could call it your body's asking for that. Like, you really do need to think your body is asking for that. Why? What does it need? What does it want? It's needing or wanting something. So rather than trying to pound yourself into submission and say, I've got this all figured out and I'm going to have such discipline, self-control, that might work for some people. It usually works for men better, but as hormonal creatures of women, it doesn't work as well. Because we have a lot of things, a lot of signals firing at us, and a lot of things, a lot of, food noise in the brain sometimes, all coming from various reasons. And maybe it doesn't work for men either, but if you just tell yourself, okay, if that craving's still there, I'll have it later. The urgency, the demand for it right now, and the consequent binge is kind of, the power is taken away. So even if you go and have the thing later, because you're still thinking about it, you still want it. And for me, potato chips, chocolate, crispy chicken, those are my things. And I continually wanted those things, and it would be typically around my cycle, and usually our cravings and aversions, because aversions is actually low-grade nausea. So I've talked about that a little bit before, but it kind of goes hand in hand with those hormone changes. So you go and I bring a lovely salad with chicken, or I bring my egg bites to work. I put kale in them, and when I put kale in it, I was like, this might get me. I might be good with the egg, I might be good with the sausage, I might be good with the cheese, but it'll be that kale that I don't want. I'm guaranteeing you. And what did I do today? I could not fathom eating it, and it was because of the kale. So I got to remember that. I should have some, trying to sneak kale into myself, but anyway. You have a hormone change, and you pack a nice lunch, and you really wanted it the day before, and you thought it was going to be good. And then you get to work and something shifts, your hormones are off, whatever, you had a bad sleep, and you got some low-grade nausea, and then you cannot, this is an aversion now, I cannot fathom eating that thing. There's no overriding my body's signals on that. And then I'm trying to build self-trust too, so how in the world am I going to override myself? No, my body is telling me I'm not going to eat that, I cannot eat that. The idea of it's making me nauseous, right? I brought salmon salad, that's another one. Some days I'm like, yeah, I want salmon salad. And then when you don't, you do not. You do not want it. It's like eggs, you get the egg. Fish, you get the egg. All that stuff. Maybe some people don't even like it at all. And that's, yeah, so you're never going to pack it for yourself. But It could be even a chicken salad, just all that roughage. I'm like, oh, my stomach's not feeling the roughage today. I felt good yesterday with it, but today not. Now you're in a problem because you're hungry and you can't eat the thing you packed. And so then sometimes a craving come in and be like, oh, potato chips or a crispy chicken. Go order that and pick it up from the restaurant locally. And, so I have some runaway lanes of things I'll get from the grocery store instead that usually hit the mark. And then I have keto alternates for things. But I've also gotten into the world of understanding, okay, when I'm craving potato chips, what is my body asking for? Typically potassium. Potassium. So I'm going to do another video on all of that because you want chocolate? What's your body asking for? Could be magnesium. Could be magnesium. Guess what? In nutritional ketosis, you get low on electrolytes, which is potassium, magnesium, and sodium. So sodium is in potato chips as well. And if you look at the bag of potato chips, you'll see 800 milligrams of potassium in a serving. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at. That is a big thing to be able to have. So, we shouldn't dismiss our bodies. It's telling us something, and you should understand that. That doesn't mean you need to only get potassium from potato chips, but you could test it for yourself, right? Oh, I'll have the potato chips later. Maybe my body needs potassium and sodium. What other things that are on my plan have that I can take? Now, potassium, get this. And I'm going to do a different video because this is super important. I'll do it another time. 4,700 milligrams per day is the amount we're supposed to have in as a percent daily value from food. With potassium, you cannot supplement 4,700 milligrams. That's heart stopping, right? So you get potassium from the pharmacy or wherever, the drugstore, in a supplement form. It's going to have 100 or 200 milligrams max. And you do not want to take 10 of those pills. You might stop your heart. You cannot do that. People who are really low on potassium, that's a condition that happens to the elderly. Sometimes the doctor might prescribe a little bit more potassium, but it's very, 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 very regulated in that sort of way. Yeah, you don't want to take the supplements. You want to get it from food. So I was on this journey to try and figure out how in the world do you get potassium, what foods have it, and how much of it. Because I'm a nerd like that, and I had a spreadsheet. Me and spreadsheets, okay? And I had a spreadsheet of every kind of food and how much. So did you know that, like, spinach, raw spinach, like you're making a spinach salad, maybe 1 or 2 cups of it. Each cup of spinach raw has like 200-300 milligrams of it. Okay. But if you cook that spinach, now suddenly a cup of cooked spinach has 900 milligrams. It's like 1/5 of the stuff I need in a day. Who eats cooked spinach every day? Oh, right. Okay, well, how much, so I plugged in and looked at the nutrition value and how much potassium was in, eggs and meat and the stuff I'm eating. Well, okay, my serving of meat's going to have 300, maybe 400. Okay, well, I have 3 of those, 3 servings a day, call that 900, 1,000, something like that, just for my serving of meat. And if I have a salad, added up all the things that go in the salad that I usually have. Even so if I'm going to add pumpkin seeds, then they have a little bit more, and hemp hearts have a little more, and plus sprinkle those on there. I couldn't get that salad to have more than 400 or 500 milligrams of potassium. So I've got 1,000 from meat in the day, and I've got maybe 500 from my salad. That's 1,500. I'm really only having maybe a snack and a couple of servings of veg, right? If I cook a spinach, do the cream spinach, that's another, call it 1,000, say 900 really. Am I going to eat a whole cup of cooked spinach? That's a lot of spinach. See it cooked down, probably not eating a cup, but even if it did, I've got 2,500 maybe. Okay, maybe another serving of vegetables, 200-300 more. 2,800 is what I'm hitting. That's it. So yeah, I might crave some potato chips. I might. My body might ask for that because it needs more potassium, because I am not getting it from my food. And I can't go take 1,000 milligrams of potassium to make it up at one shot. So I might, electrolyte powder might have a couple hundred milligrams of potassium in it, and then I might take another couple hundred at night and make up 400 more, but that's about all I can do. Not hitting the 4,700 on keto. Guess what things have potassium in it that you need to eat regularly all the time in order to get there? You can get there easily if you eat potatoes. You can get there easily if you eat legumes, and you can get there easily if you eat bananas. Well, when you're doing a ketogenic diet, those foods are off the table. So I have to investigate that a little further. But I really do think that our bodies will change and shift and adapt, and nutritional ketosis and being in that state for a lifestyle hasn't been studied well enough to know whether or not you truly need the 4,700 milligrams of potassium every day. But if you're craving potato chips, it could be that you haven't had enough potassium, regardless if you're doing keto or not. So our bodies are telling us something. So each body is telling us something different. My body's telling me something that your body's not telling you. So you have to pay attention to your own body and investigate. And your ground zero should be, I believe myself. I'm going to be gentle with myself. I believe myself. Okay, I really want an apple, or I really want crispy chicken, whatever. Okay, guess another on crispy chicken. That's my other one. Okay, there's salt in it. It's protein. But also the crispy, the crunchy of the chips, the crunchy of the chicken. That's a thing. That's a thing. To crave something crunchy could be that you have extra stress or energy. It's also probably got a little bit more dopamine or serotonin or something. Like it activates that more in your body. So you could be feeling low. And the funny thing is, the week before our periods, our moods are low because our hormones are changing and shifting to prepare for menstruation, and can't tolerate stress as much. So we are looking for more things to increase our serotonin and dopamine at that time. That's why we crave chocolate. So that's typically when I am craving something crunchy. So just be affirmed that your body's talking to you when you have cravings and when you have aversions. Like my aversions are coming, my digestion's off. Progesterone creates a digestive issue. So when you're in that week before your period, or like me, I'm on progesterone for a part of the month, my stomach needs me to be more gentle with it. And that's not raw foods. That's cooked foods. It's not a lot of roughage. You know, you do need to be gentle. Maybe not huge boluses of meats or proteins, right? And so I do notice that I want more of a soup. Like I really wanted I'm kind of picky. My soup's got to have like the vegetables cut into little squares, sauteed a little bit for the extra added flavor, chicken in nice little pieces or whatever. And then, I don't know if you've ever done this. My one friend put me into this. It's so good, especially for chicken soup or even turkey soup, but chicken vegetable soup. When you're cooking the small cut vegetables, the carrots, the celery, the onion, maybe some peppers if you want it, stuff like that. This is keto world here. You're doing that. You're sauteing that in some olive oil or butter or a mix of both, or even bacon grease if you like that. Any of that. You put your salt, you put your pepper, and then put curry powder. Put curry powder on it. And then, you cook the chicken, do the same thing. Put the curry powder on the chicken. Just a teaspoon. Get the curry powder from No Frills. It's a good price there. It's got such a good flavor. It's not going to make the entire dish taste like curry, but it just elevates it. And same with like chicken salad, just a little half teaspoon of curry powder. And oh my goodness, this is like the very best soup. Oh, sometimes I'll just cube cabbage up in it too. Just little cubes of cabbage, not a ton of it, just a little bit. It's another vegetable in there. It's good for you. Cook it all down nice and cook it well in a soup. And that's a nice soothing ketogenic meal for when you are suffering that way. And you don't have to worry about roughage in your tummy. You're getting some good nutrition. If you can make bone broth or buy bone broth, where it's made from actual bones and you don't have a bunch of added ingredients that have carbohydrates and hidden things that can spike your blood sugar, that's better to use. So anyway, that's just a tip, and do need to listen to your body. That is super important. So this is a longer video than I thought, and I started out with carb intolerance is different for everybody, but this video kind of took a turn of still on the same topic of it's so important to know yourself and believe yourself and come alongside yourself, be your own best friend, and build that self-trust to understand what your body's telling you and believe it. So, sometimes people crave candy, sour candies, different things like that. There's stuff going on. It's not just, I've got to hold tight and have discipline and stay away from it. Invite these things in for tea with yourself and understand yourself. Are you having a bad day? Is this a comfort food for you? If it's a comfort food, chances are it physically changes something in your brain to make you feel better. It's not just in your head in the sense of your emotions or something that's not physically something that can be measured. Just because they don't measure it yet or whatever doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So know yourself, believe yourself, trust yourself. And if you're trying to get into ketosis and you really want sour candies, if you have the budget, you can buy the Sweet Smarts and do a different alternate. Rhubarb, I've made that. I've dehydrated it and put some like monk fruit powder on it. In it, you can also get citric acid powder, and you can put it on berries or cranberries. And put a little bit of sweetener on there to get the same effect if you can. But again, you don't tell yourself, I'm not going to have that. Say, okay, if I still want it later, I'm going to get it. And then if you have the space to choose a healthier or on-plan alternate, go for it. But if not, ask yourself the questions. Why do I want this? Am I feeling sad? Does something remind me of a sad time? Am I extra stressed? Is my period coming? Is life challenging? Did I not sleep well? Do I need to be more gentle to myself? Another trick I'll do is also eating a meal or eating that soup I told you about, having something else to eat and then going for the thing I'm craving for. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful to you. I know that there's only going to be a few people who watch this video, and that's just fine with me. Thank you for watching and being here. And I want to help you, and I want to help myself as well. And so this is helpful to me to share what I know and share what I've learned. I'm a verbal processor, so I don't know if anybody else is, but I process what's happening. I process how I'm thinking and feeling kind of out loud. So, in the summertime when it's not icy out and I'm going walking, I'm talking. Whether I'm with anybody or not, I'm talking. So I hope I am clear and it's not too tedious for you to deal with if you're watching. I'm thinking you're okay with it. I hope you have a great evening, have a good sleep, and take good care of yourself.